Hey guys, welcome back. In this particular one, we're configuring the internal routing protocols on the internal routing devices. What do I mean by that? I have my internal networks. My whole objective of doing SD-WAN is to connect my different branches to each other. So I have my data network that is running over here. My edge device over here, its job is to connect me to the other edges. But at the same time, I have my networks over here. So I have 3 networks over here that I want to route. 172.16.21.22.23. In my case, I'm going to create them as loopbacks. I don't have physical networks. Then I have a network that connects the site towards the vEdge, 192.168.20.x. These routers are not configured, so I need to configure these routers. So in this particular lab, I'm going to configure this guy with these addresses, this guy with these addresses, and then site 1 will get that ready for the headquarter later on with these addresses. So that's the objective over here. All right. So nothing to do with the SD-WAN part of it, normal routing, running OSPF. So let's take a look at the requirements based on the lab and do it based on that. Okie doke. I need these interfaces on site 1. 192.168.11, is that right? I have 10 over here. So I'll just change this to 11 to match it, match the lab. And then the rest of it, let me see. 11, 11, 11, 12, and 13 on this guy. So let's do that first. Knock that out. Router, let's go to this. Site 1, show IP interface brief, blank. Interface E0/0, IP address 192.168.11. We'll call it 11.11. Is that right? What do I want to call it? I just want that for you guys. Yeah, 11.11. No shut. Interface loopback 1. 172.16.11.1. Just make sure again. 11.1, 12.1, 13.1. That's okay. I can handle that. So the interfaces are done over here. The 3 loopbacks and the interface. Now what else to the device? So the interfaces are done. Let's do the interfaces on all 3 devices and then we'll do it. On site 2 and site 3, I have an extra interface loopback 4, which is 34.2/25. Other than that, 20.22, 21, 22, 23 IP of 1. So let's do that real quick. Should also have the lab workbook, so you will be able to follow along. E00, 192.168.20.22. My loopbacks. 172.16.21.1. I'm running OSPF, so what I'm going to do over here for you guys is change this to network type point to point. I'll do the same thing on this guy, otherwise it shows up as a /32 route. It's OSPF. So point to point, I'll do the same thing over here. Loopback 2. 22.1 and 3, 23.1. So my loopbacks are created, my Ethernet is created. I do have another one actually. 4, that's at 234. I'm going to use in one of my policies, .2, and it is a /32. So I should have 4 loopbacks and an Ethernet interface. Done. Right along to this guy over here. 3. And should be blank. Interface E0/0, 192.168.30.33. Interface loopback 1, IP address 172.16.31.1. IP OSPF network. Point to point. loopback 2, 32, and loopback 3, 33. So I have my 3 interfaces like that, and now my loopback 4. This guy is 234.3 based on the diagram, based on what was required. So this should have my 4 interfaces and the Ethernet. Last one. Sure, it's blank. Interface E0/0, IP address 192.168.40.44. Loopback 1, 172.16.41.1. IP OSPF network point to point 42. And the last one is that loopback 4. It is a /32 already, so I don't need to worry about doing the IP OSPF network point to point. So this one is also done. Do they want you to do 5 as well? No. Yep, 5 as well. But it doesn't have that 234 address, so just those devices over there. Interface E0/0, 192.168.50.55. (172.16.51.1) IP OSPF network point to point 2 52 3 53, and I am done. So all my interfaces over here are done. All right, so now that the interfaces are done, the protocol. Configure the interfaces based on the logical diagram. I've done that for the internal router sites. Configure OSPF as the IGP to communicate with the V-edge and the C-edge. Enable all the interfaces under OSPF. Configure the loopbacks as network point to point, which I've done. So the only thing left is basically OSPF. So to do that, I will start with site 1, router OSPF 1. Network is 192.168. It's 11.0 over here. I'm going to run it in area 0, and my network, I'll say 172.16.00. That takes care of all my 3 networks over here, plus the physical. Site 2, same thing. Network is 192.168.20.0. And this guy is the same. Done. It's not going to come up because I haven't done the B-edge yet. Network is 192.168.30.0. Network over here is 172.16.00. Did I do this right? Yep, good. 4 now. Network 192.168.40.0. 172.16.00 and 5. Ta-da! So I think this part done. This lab is done. 2, 3, 4, 5, done. Configure feature templates, service VPNs now. So we'll do that in the next video.